so stoked. I know what that is. I gotta get to the front door.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I am so stoked. I am going to unbox my new Monoski tonight. I picked up Monoskiing about a dozen years ago. I just was looking for a new challenge. Spent 30 years on 2 skis and a little bit of time on a snowboard and just wanted something different. And I remembered back to my teenage years when monoskiing was slightly more popular, mostly in Europe, but it was the Warren Miller films of guys doing just amazing runs on a mono that kind of brought me back to those days, and I decided I need to find one. I assumed I'd have to find an old one, but it turns out there are still companies out there making them. And so I was lucky enough to find a guy on Craigslist here locally that had a mono and was looking to get rid of it, so I picked it up. I think I may be the only monoskier in the state. In 12 years, I've run into one other at a resort here in Oregon. His advice to me, because it was pretty early when I'd just gotten bored, was if I should really just put it in the closet and forget about it. And fortunately, I ignored that advice. I think he was joking, but if he wasn't, I still ignored it. And I love monoskiing. It's much better on my knees, and I just have a great time with it. I'm gonna go ahead and open this tonight. And I'm trying to give a little bit of information about it because frankly there's not very many resources out there on the web, and what is mostly in French, and so it's not particularly helpful to those of us that don't speak French. And this video is about unboxing my Faction Outcast Le Mono, which I think it has to be pronounced Le Mono. And I hope to make another video about the binding process, and then also one about the actual use of the board. So maybe this is the first of 3 videos, but let's get to it. This may be the tallest package ever delivered to our house. I like the base so far, very cool. And I did pick up a pair of Faction poles to match. Gotta match. Here it is, Le Mono with the astronaut on it. Very cool graphics. Just a nice looking board right out of the box. Very excited. So it's fully rockered. I ended up buying the 182 centimeter length board. I'm not a tall person, and so they actually had a new board out last year, but it was, I think it was a 195. And I think it would have been too much board for me to really play on, and so I actually waited a full year to order it, and that was back in August. And here it is, November, and it just showed up. So I'm very excited. It's a fairly wide front at, the width is about 235 across the front of the board. The waist is 188 millimeters, a little bit narrower than my old board. And then the tail is a 195, which is actually quite a bit narrower than my tail of my old ski. This one runs about $6.99, I think is what I paid for it. Free shipping, which is never bad. And yeah, very, very excited. This is looking sweet. So let me actually put out my old board, and we'll get a little look side by side. So this was the Snow Shark TT hammer that I have been skiing on for, again, about a dozen years. Had marker bindings that happened to be demo bindings, which was kind of cool. So if I had friends or anybody that wanted to give it a try, it was easy enough to get them set up with it. I don't think I'll be doing that with the new board because I think it's all mine to play with. I wanted to do a quick base-to-base comparison so you can get a feel for the size. Boards come in a lot of lengths, but most seem to be in the 170 to 185 centimeter range. Depending on what type of monoski you want, some are up to 200 centimeters or more. A few manufacturers actually make youth sizes as well. And then there are a few custom shops that will make you probably whatever size you want to whatever specs you need. You should also know that every manufacturer seems to measure their boards a little bit differently. As you can see from side to side, the Faction is listed as a 182 and the Snow Shark is listed as a 185, but when you look at them here, there does not look to be 3 centimeters difference between them. They are very close in size, and I'm going to put them back to back again. They are very close in size at the tip, with the Faction board being 235 millimeters wide and the TT Hammer is about 236. At the waist, the Faction is 188 and the TT Hammer is 192. The biggest difference is down here at the tail, where the Faction board is listed as a 195 and the TT Hammer is considered a 205. I'm hoping that the more narrow tail makes this new board a little bit more playful. Also, the weight of the two is going to be different. I'm hoping that helps with the playfulness. The TT Hammer has the bindings installed, so I can't do a direct comparison on weight, but I do know that the Faction board comes in at 3,400 grams, which I think is just shy of 7.5 pounds. The TT Hammer with the bindings installed is right about 15.5 pounds. So I'm expecting the Faction board to be a bit lighter when I'm done. And again, hopefully that helps with the feel of the board, how it plays on the mountain. So I'm really excited about trying that. Again, I probably won't be using the same bindings. And so even when I do a direct comparison of weight, the bindings will likely have a difference in weight. So it won't be just the board weight that changes. So again, pretty similar in size, but a couple of key differences. The Faction board is fully rockered as opposed to the TT Hammer's twin tip parabolic design. I think there's some newer technologies in the Faction along with a built-in, it's the poplar beech wood core, hoping it pops on the mountain on the slopes, and I'm really looking forward to getting it out on the hill. One of the things that surprised me when I first started looking for a monoski was the number of companies that were still making them. At this point in November of 2020, I was able to find 10 manufacturers, maybe 11 actually out there, including Faction, Durette, Snow Shark, White Knuckle, and Hattori Hanzo. Those are among the makers. There's a handful of others. The list is long, so I'll try to add either a slide at the end of this video or put some notes in the comments, so if you're looking for a manufacturer, you can go find that. As I said earlier, I paid $699 for my board. I've seen a few new monoskis starting in the $500 range, and then they go up. The custom boards can start well over $1,000 before you start customizing them and adding features. So keep in mind also that you'll need a good set of bindings for these, which will add another few $100s as well. So there's the differences in size. All in all, I'm super stoked and can't wait for the next step. So if you made it through the video, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
Patty.